You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Guys, imagine what you can accomplish when you're not distracted by the swampy conditions in your shorts. Dollar Shave Club's ball spray is like deodorant for your boys downstairs. It absorbs moisture, reduces chafing, which is huge, and keeps those rank odors at bay. Not to mention our minty, tingly aroma that lets you know you're fresh. And a precision sprayer that makes application easy at any angle. Get a fresh pair. Visit dollarshaveclub.com to get ball spray today.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Skeleton crew down here in Miami today.
Against the spread.
Can't remember last time I was
this back.
I can't believe I don't know the last time I was called a skeleton. I just made a fat joke of myself. What are we doing here?
You like it?
No idea. There's 4 of us here. The entire rest of the company is out in California.
Aquí nadie quiere trabajar.
That's true.
That's just, let's say what
It's
it
obvious.
is.
What?
Nobody wants to work?
He didn't say it like that, though.
No, he said it better, actually.
I've been saying, so we recorded God Bless Football for our Monday episode a little while ago, right before this. We got up really early to do the Monday God Bless Football.
Yes, we did.
And I have had a difficult time trying to balance not recycling takes from that show to this show.
Sure.
And this week it's even harder. Well, last week I wasn't here because of jury duty, but this week it's even harder because I'm here, I feel like I'm expected to talk more than when I'm there. And when I'm there, it's easy because I'm like, you know what? There's 1,000 people here. I can just take it easy.
You can disappear for a little bit. Yeah.
Not disappear, but
Right.
like I feel like I don't need to have as many things to talk about. So then I was having difficulty deciding on what I wanted to share on God Bless Football thoughts-wise
Right.
and what I wanted to save for this. And I saved stuff for this.
Okay. Well, what'd you say?
I don't like the Dolphins fan I'm becoming.
Why?
Are you getting spoiled? Are you expecting them to win now and you get like mad when they don't?
I'll say this before
Have you lost
Billy,
perspective?
Before Billy gets to it, I will say this. I have no idea who's good, what's happening in the NFL, and it seems to be the case every single year. Last year, Dolphins were the best. Last week, the Dolphins were the best team in the NFL. This week, they lose to the Eagles. Last week, I said the Lions were the best team in the NFC. They get blown out by the Ravens. I have no idea what to expect week to week.
Yeah.
Zero. Anyway.
Well, I think usually you take what a team did last week and you're like, they're going to do that again next week.
Right.
But I think the way it works is the opposite of that. Like the Eagles last week, you're like, oh, they lost to the Jets.
Right.
Okay, Dolphins are coming in there, better than the Jets. This is an easy one.
Yes.
You gotta zag. When your mind says zig, you gotta zag.
Except the Chiefs. Somehow Patrick Mahomes just always ends up being 6-1 or
Right.
5-1. Every year it's like,
Right.
they had a bad season. Oh no, wait, they're 6-1. Oh, okay.
Well,
They're pretty good.
this has nothing to do with my expectations of the game or how I thought the Dolphins were going to do. I actually thought that they did an okay job.
Okay.
I thought they had a better game against the Eagles than they had against the Bills, but you can listen to that on God Bless Football. That's not what I say.
I mean, 17-17 second half. They had a chance to win a game, a big game on the road. They didn't get it done, but they were in the game in the second half. They didn't score on offense in the second
Chris,
half.
I was telling Stugotz, I don't want to be the referee person. I don't want to be the official person.
I'll do it. We got screwed last night.
Yeah, this is what I didn't want to do, though.
That a boy?
Yeah.
I mean, it was that discrepancy. That's just not fair.
Right.
There was clearly 3 to 4. You know what? I'm going to call it 4 to 5.
Wow.
Wow.
Clear penalties.
That's a big
missed.
step.
One
We
blatant
went from
one.
3 to 5. It's
Right,
almost
very
double.
quick, mid-sentence. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, I'm just thinking of them in my
Right.
head,
Yeah.
and it was nonsense.
You have the exact calls?
The Cedric Wilson one was bad.
The face mask.
The face mask.
The face mask was bad. Yeah, there are other ones.
Okay.
Well, they had a touchdown called back on a hold where it was like he had his
He
arm
held
around
him. He hooked him.
you know, you can let that go.
Wait a
Let him
second.
play sometimes. You know
Time
what I
out.
mean?
Chris had 3 to 4 that went to 5 to 6,
That he
and he
can't
can only
think of a
recall
single one.
one.
But I'm trying to let everyone get their shots off here. I don't want to just say all of them. I'm going to let Tony go a little.
Oh, I see. You
pass the
want
ball
everyone to
around.
bring their own.
There was
thing
one
to
on the
play it
brotherly shove that they called offensive offside
That
when
play.
nobody was offsides. It
Yes.
was just Kelsey's other hand,
Right.
Yeah.
which they called the penalties.
They
I
thought it was like the guard's hand.
Yeah, yeah,
Apparently,
it was like-
Kelsey's hand's allowed to be up there.
Right.
But no other hand.
right.
The only penalty they called on them was wrong.
Right.
Okay? Bullshit. What happened last night? I'm not saying it would have changed the result.
Right.
Look, the Dolphins went into a tough environment, 5-2. I am still thrilled with how this season's going. I'm not going to go flying off the handle here, but to say that their officials didn't play a factor in last night's game, I don't think you can do that.
Okay.
If anything, I would say I think you could feel better about that, right? Is that if you think that the Dolphins were robbed by the officials, you're like, well, They could hang with the Eagles, but I don't want to do
They did hang with the Eagles. They did.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is a bad look. Just to like, I'm with Billy that as much as I feel the things that I just said the stuff about the ref, but I instantly regret it because you don't want to be that team.
Oh, well, so that leads me to why I don't like the fan that I've become.
okay.
Because I have a friend who's a fan of the Eagles,
Right.
and I was texting some foul things. I was talking about how smug I think Nick Sirianni looks. Nick
Right.
Sirianni looks very smug. We
His
can agree
face.
on that.
I don't even know if smug's
And
the
here's-
word, but his face is something.
And here's the thing, right? That I say like on the front end, where I say Nick Sirianni looks so smug, where he's there and he's doing his things, and he does this whole thing with his face.
Looking
right?
at the ref. Remember
and
he
the
looked at
last
the ref?
time, the last time I said something about someone's face, it went very poorly for me. It was like, let's do billboards with Josh Allen's like, I'm never going to talk about anyone's face again. And I was saying, God, this Nick Sirianni looks so smug where he was there and he was going to punt it. You think the Dolphins have a chance to get right back into it, then calls a timeout and then goes for it, and then they get it in his smug looks that he's doing the entire time. And again, I was saying this to my friend Allison, who's an Eagles fan. I was saying, you know what? I understand Mike McDaniel is a Dolphins coach. So I cannot be the person saying this coach looks smug because Mike McDaniel, we can agree,
He is smug.
looks sometimes a little too cool for school. I'm not going to say smug. Let's just say sometimes looks a little too cool for school.
Okay.
Sirianni, though. Ugh. So I was calling Sirianni
Can you put that on the poll,
smug.
please? Does Mike McDaniel look too cool for school?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Then on games like yesterday where he's losing, he looks like he
looks better when he wins, yes.
100% looks
case
better
with
when
most
he wins.
coaches, yeah.
I also, have you noticed that for day games, he wears those sunglasses that I assume are prescription sunglasses that he wears?
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
And then nighttime, he
the
has
big
to take,
like Ray-Bans that are like two-tone,
Right.
and then at night he's just wearing
like
his
the fighter
glasses.
pilot glasses. Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
right.
But I don't think he'd be eligible to fly a fighter jet.
No.
You know, it's like very.
On what grounds? What do you mean by that?
Well, his vision, you can't. Yeah, like if you have like, I think if you wear glasses, you can't fly a jet.
But you could just get LASIK.
No.
So you can't get LASIK. You have to have naturally perfect
No,
eyes.
look it up. It's very hard to fly a
I'm not gonna
fighter
look it
jet.
up.
They all look it up.
Not gonna
No,
look
it's
it up.
true. It
Actually,
is.
look it up. I am interested. Like, if you have glasses.
Okay, I'm in. I'll look it up.
No, it is. It's really hard. Like any little thing, it's like, nah, sorry, you can't fly this. And it makes sense because those jets are like $50 million each.
Sure.
Or something. So it's like,
You
you,
should
know
have
what?
good vision, yeah.
You have to be absolutely perfect in every sense of the word, or you can't fly the plane.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I think at one point I'm looking for like the meanest thing that I said. So I have said on the record, and I know that last week or the week before we had a clip of David Sampson going after Phillies fans that like went like somewhat viral, where like people were like Phillies fans were really bothered by this clip, and they
Get
were
over
watching, they were all
themselves.
commenting on it,
Right.
and I was saying I'm having a hard time rooting against the Phillies, right? And I know you're wondering why are we talking about this? We're talking about the Dolphins game.
That's okay.
I'm having a hard time rooting against
Billy.
the Phillies.
the Philly connection.
Billy, Lazy River.
Chris gets it.
Okay, Lazy River.
So-
we are left to our own devices. We're the only four left at this company. Everyone else is in LA.
Yeah.
Okay? Lazy River. Have fun.
Also, speaking of Lazy River, on airforce.com,
Not a website that's real.
The internet.
airforce.com. Hold
the
on, I've got
internet's
the
not agreeing with you
qualifications.
here.
I've got the qualifications for being an Air Force pilot on airforce.com.
Let's hear it.
Knowledge and of theory of flight, air navigation, meteorology, flying directives, aircraft operating procedures, and mission tactics. Number 2, completion of Air Force specialized undergraduate pilot training. Another training that you need to do, additional requirements specific to specificity, which seems vague.
So nothing about vision.
Nothing about vision.
You're looking in the wrong place.
Must be training between the ages of 18 to 33.
I'm seeing that, yes, although Air Force pilot eyesight requirements are more complex.
Thank you.
But it's saying, though, but you can have glasses. As long as you have a certain standard of eyesight, you can.
Why are you saying thank you?
Thank you.
He proved
As
you wrong.
long as you can see, you can become a fighter pilot.
So I
basically.
started typing, can you be a fighter pilot? And then Google was autofilling and it said with glasses. And it
Right.
says Air Force pilot vision requirements. Can you be a fighter pilot with glasses? Yes, although Air Force pilot eyesight requirements are more complex. So
Okay.
I'm going to chalk that up as a
Was that
W.
on airforce.com or no?
It's an L. What do you
On-
mean?
it says normal color vision. I don't know what that means. 20/30 nearsighted vision without correction, and then it just stops. So I'm not going to keep clicking. I'm looking at that. Anyways, so I was saying that I don't want to root against the Phillies, basically because every other team is boring, and I don't want the Astros to win again and all this stuff, right? So I was like, the Phillies fans have been great, blah, blah, blah. Eagles fans, though, and I realized they're the exact same people. Ugh, God, no. I was so over it yesterday. At one point, I told my friend who was an Eagles fan, Allison,
Right.
I said, I hope the earth swallows up Philadelphia.
All right.
I don't even know what that means.
A little aggressive.
I don't know what it means. I don't know how the earth would swallow up a city, but I was hoping
Sinkhole.
that it happened.
If it happened, you'd feel bad pretty instantly, I
You
think.
would, yes. Yes. What'd your friend Allison, how'd she respond to that?
She was saying the Dolphins are the worst. I hate the uniforms. They're the worst things. Horrendous. The throwbacks are terrible.
As soon as I saw the Kelly green last night, I was like, we're screwed.
Dude, the greens are so good.
I hate them.
The
Ugh, they look
helmet,
Billy hates them.
the color of the helmet was incredible.
The Colts looked cool yesterday, too.
Those helmets are lame.
What,
Please.
the Colts ones?
No, the Eagles ones.
Okay.
Lame helmets.
What's
Just
your
doing
problem?
a thing.
What's your problem with the Eagles helmets?
The wing is not defined.
What do you mean?
The wing's not. It's just a gray wing. I need the tracing of the feathers. I need to see the actual wing. If not, I don't know what it is. It looks like a peninsula. Two peninsulas on a green. Yep.
Can we talk about the tush push, or you want to save that for later?
No, I think Billy's right. I think Jalen Hurts is a one-trick pony.
He can't even keep a straight face.
It's all they
Look at him
do.
smile.
It's all they do. It's unstoppable.
It's like they're 3rd and 7, and they aim for 4th and short.
Right.
Like, they don't try to get the first down on
Yes.
3rd down. They're like, let's make sure to get 4th and 1 here.
Yes.
They did that in the red zone where it was a 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 8 at the 10-yard line or something, and then they just ran it. And they got like 2 yards. It was like, what are they doing?
Why don't they just do that the entire way up the field?
That's exactly what I told
They get
Stugotz this
3
morning.
yards.
I said, just have
He
the
told me
meter
that
play
this
the
morning,
entire
he did.
game. I go, just have every game.
At least one drive. They should troll like America.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
one drive, just
3 yards
do it
at a
the
time.
entire way down the field.
Why do people want it banned? Like, why do they say it's not?
Because they suck at it.
No,
Because it's cheating to like.
Hold on. How is it cheating?
Because-
How is it cheating?
time out.
just like
It's legal within the rules. It feels like cheating when you're pushing your quarterback across
it's
the
getting
goal
help.
line.
It's the same reason why at a field goal kick you can't push you can't push people and I can't
Leverage, right?
I can't lift you up on a.
Well, we just need Miles.
That would be
Garrett.
sick on a field goal block if you could like get together and do like cheerleading style
But that's a good
catapult
example
someone
of
in
why
the air.
people have issues with it. Imagine if you could lift someone up and have them try
But the thing is, you
to block
can.
a field goal.
They can try it. Other teams can try it. It's not like, oh, you know what? The only team that can do it is Philly. Nobody else can try it.
Right.
Everybody can do it. If you just suck at it, it's like just sucking at running the ball or throwing the ball. Like if you have a bad quarterback, that's your fault, not mine.
I am confused the strategy to try to stop it. You have Javon Holland like jumping up as if it's like a guy. It's like, no, you got to get behind the defense. Like there should be linebackers pushing the offensive lineman. Like I'm confused why the defenses aren't using the same strategy they're using because it's just they're getting outnumbered. It's like they're all lined up single file and they're getting bulldozed.
I feel bad for Kelsey in that situation.
Why?
Because he's at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, but he lives for that.
their
He lives
line
to be
is
at the
so
bottom
good.
of a pile.
It's
What do you
just
mean?
incredible.
Their line is so good. And Hassan Reddick, oh my God.
Is a monster.
Why are we running at him the whole first
It
half?
didn't make any
It was
sense.
like, hey, there's their best defender. Let's
Run it right at
Maybe that is the strategy. Sometimes you go right at a guy,
No,
but it was
not
like,
yesterday.
I know.
Not yesterday.
They tried to have crackback blocks. They tried to like bring in a tight end or something to stop us on Reddick. He was just going around everybody.
Well, guys, I think the Dolphins' strategy is we could run the football at anyone, against anyone. I mean, they didn't show it last
Not
night,
Hassan
but
Reddick.
going into the game, that's what they were thinking.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is sponsored by Sleep Number. Did you hear about the football player who couldn't sleep? He kept getting caught in a tackle of insomnia. When it comes to sleep, you need the MVP of beds to ensure you get quality sleep every single time. Wide receiver Jamar Chase depends on Sleep Number Smart Bed to take his game to the next level on and off the field. With a Sleep Number Smart Bed, quality sleep makes it easier to reach your unique potential no matter what each night brings. Science shows quality sleep helps improve your mental, emotional, physical, and relationship health. Insomnia and other sleep-related issues can be frustrating, but there are several strategies you can try to improve your sleep quality. Keep a regular bedtime and wake-up routine to help your circadian rhythm adjust better. Sleep Number Smart Beds track your circadian rhythm so you know your ideal schedule. Sleep next level. Unlock your unique potential with a smart bed that can perform as well as you. And now at its lowest price ever, the all-new Queen Sleep Number C2 Smart Bed is only $880, plus special financing for a limited time. Only at Sleep Number stores or sleepnumber.com. Subject to credit approval. See store for details.
Dan Le Batard.
Greg Cote of the Miami Herald is writing an article, and I'm reading in it. Moss Miami, sold out. Miami artists, Miami culture. And I'm reading Moss Miami is sold out. And I'm reading about Digital Podcast Network. And I'm reading about us. And I'm like, this is our dreams coming true.
Stugotz.
1,000 people come out and we see the shipping container and they're on a stage and they're like rock stars. You and me both had tears in our eyes. We're like mom and dad of sentiment. And it's hard to get you to sentiment, man.
That was a very emotional moment for us to see those guys. I'm telling you guys, you were on stage. Dan and I were both crying. Are you guys aware of this? Crying.
Yeah,
Like crocodile tears.
We believe crocodile tears are fake. Crocodile tears are fake.
I thought they meant big.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I do feel like there is a question to be asked about the Dolphins offense traveling. We've seen how it looks at
fair.
home.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the competition has been like the Eagles and Bills. Maybe that's just it, and it's not being on the road. But the offense hasn't looked good on the road against these good defenses, which obviously it's going to be tougher against good defenses, but I don't know. I just want a little more production.
I think this is the first time the Dolphins have played a defensive line to the status of the Philadelphia Eagles, right? The Bills had a good defensive line, and look what happened to them, scored 20 points.
Dolphins scored 20, yes.
Right. If it weren't for that pick six last night, the Dolphins scored 10 points.
It should be noted the Dolphins were missing 3 starting offensive linemen.
Sure. Right.
Connor Williams and Teron Armstead are just difference makers.
And then Wynn got hurt too.
Yeah.
Like first or second play of the game.
I made such a dumb homer bet last night. If I didn't even pay it, I didn't do is Connor playing, is Teron playing? Like
Davian Howard not playing.
It was just so clear in hindsight that the Dolphins.
Why? Because most of your bets are armed with information.
Well, I just think forget about my bet.
Suckers bets.
In hindsight, the Dolphins were undermanned last night. They didn't play well, and they were missing, you could argue, 5 of their top 8 guys. So it was.
And Waddle got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tough spot.
Connor Williams being out too was tough because you saw what happened when Eichenberg got into center.
Eichenberg was ranked 39 of 39.
Threw balls all over the place.
Love those PFF
One
rankings.
low, one high, went to the side.
All the Eagles players, 4 of the 5 Eagles offensive linemen, top 10 PFF offensive line.
Crazy.
Insane.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing, and I was like, this team is ridiculous.
Yeah, they're good.
Lane Johnson hasn't lit up a sack since like 2004.
And then
But last night, Phillips got one on him.
Yeah, he did.
And then you looked at the Dolphins PFF rankings, and they showed it's all like 19, 23, and I was like,
Not good.
Are we just realizing the Eagles are good? They went to the Super Bowl last year.
It's just the line play.
What do you mean, eh?
I don't know. I just made a sound.
Oh, okay.
Trying to keep things moving.
It's just we don't know how to quantify like offensive line play. So you look at the Eagles and you're like, wow, they have a great unit.
Right.
They can do the brotherly shove, and then everybody else is like, I don't really know. Do the Pittsburgh Steelers have a good offensive line? I don't know.
I have no idea. I have no idea if any team in the
How the
AFC
Bengals
North is
offensive
good.
line?
Right. I don't know. I have no idea. But Chris does have a right to be concerned. I think Dolphin fans should be concerned.
No.
They didn't score an offensive point in the second half. They're clearly not as good on the road as they are at home. And they haven't beaten a really good team in the NFL yet. They just haven't. Like, Billy, they haven't.
The Chargers aren't good?
I mean, what's their record?
No, I agree. I think that's the only debate.
I mean, Jalen Ramsey still hasn't played for the Dolphins, and that's
what I mean.
going to be a difference when he's on the defense.
Agreed. Checking out the Chargers, what? They're 2-4?
2-4.
2-4. I mean, at the time they played them, it felt like a great victory.
The Dolphins are banged up. Like, Achane is out, and he's a giant difference maker on the offense. They have linemen that are out. Like,
It's just about what are they going to look like late in the year. I think everybody knows when the Dolphins have enough of their pieces, they're going to be one of the top end teams. It's just going to be like, how does this all shake out? It's not when we come on here, people want to know, like, tell me exactly how things are going to work out.
Right.
The Dolphins are going to be in the mix.
But no, they're definitely in the mix. You do wonder if if they don't have home field advantage in the playoffs, if the Dolphins can make it to a Super Bowl. That's a fair thing to be thinking right now if you're a Dolphin fan.
But you would
Chris.
think that about most NFL teams.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not panicking. I'm not panicking
Monday,
after yesterday's game. I don't know why you want us to panic and freak out about this team, Stugotz.
I don't know. I'm only supporting Chris here in his concern about the Dolphins' offense on the road. It is a vastly different offense at home than it is on the road.
I have a question for you. So the next road game technically is the Jets, even though they have a game against the Chiefs in Germany in between. But
they have the Patriots
technically.
too.
By the way,
but
at
that's not a road game.
9:30 a.m.
Oh,
start
sorry.
for that game, I hate it.
Okay.
Inconvenience them, not us.
Inconvenience who?
Germans.
The Germans?
Yeah. Have the game somewhere. I don't know what time, 10 a.m. or whatever, be over there, where we can get like a night game over here.
But
I don't know what the math is, but
they want the games to stand out. Like, you know what I mean? They don't want Germany to just be in the 1 o'clock slate.
no,
They
but
want
have it be the night game then, and then start it early.
So
like,
start at 2 a.m. in Germany.
Is that the time? I don't know. I have no
For
idea
an
what time
8
it is
p.m.,
over
it's like 6
But
ahead.
he's saying
right?
don't
Roughly.
inconvenience us.
there. Inconvenience them.
It's our game. It's our sport.
exactly.
Yeah, right. Get
I'm
your own.
kind of
6 hour ahead.
with you. I'm kind of with you.
Germans, you
Get
want to
your
watch
own
football?
sport.
Get there.
You want football? 2:30 in the morning. Here it is.
Well, so,
Boom.
okay, but you know the players.
I'm with them.
But you know the players have to play it at 2. Like, this is not just about the fans.
Players, schmayers.
If they leave the day before and just keep their
Right.
body clocks the same, they won't know the difference.
So it's unfair to the players to have them playing at 2:30 in the morning.
How about it's unfair to the players to send them to Germany for no reason?
That too, for one
Because
game.
what are you getting out of this?
Wait a
NFL?
second. But 2:30 in the morning in Germany is what time here?
8 p.m.
8 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're back.
Body clock.
I'm assuming that Germany's the same time zone as London. I know London's 6 hours.
I don't think it is. I have
don't
no
know
idea.
about that.
Let's look that up.
I just know Europe, generally, soccer games 6 ahead.
Why are you assuming that?
That's just where I live my life,
Where?
in America.
There's different time zones in America too,
I know.
though. You know that, right?
Wait, so you like the 9:30 kick? Dolphins Chiefs.
I don't mind a Sunday where I get one game at 9:30.
That game feels too big for a 9:30 game.
Exactly.
Why are we complaining about
that
football?
game shouldn't be in Germany.
It
If we're
shouldn't
gonna
be in
be 100% honest, that game should not be in Germany.
Well, I don't think
I don't know
people-
why
They
they
should
said that game to
relocate.
Germany.
I don't think people expected the Dolphins to be this good. Like they
They
were
were
like
good
this-
last
They
year.
scheduled it this year. It's not like this was scheduled 5 years in advance.
Yeah, but
they knew this was going to be a good
nobody
game. They
knew
knew
that-
this was going to be a Tyreek Hill revenge game. What are we doing? Why is that game in Germany?
because it's the first game in Germany, and
Who
they're trying to
cares
come
about
out the
Germany?
gates.
Ugh.
Right now it's 3:22 right now in Germany. 3:22 p.m.
Chris is very. I did not know his loyalty
He's
to
pro
Germany.
Germany.
I was
It's
actually,
weird.
The funny thing is I was
Weird.
at an Oktoberfest.
Right.
Oh, that's what it was.
that's what
they
it is.
convinced
Yeah.
you. They're like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
9:30 a.m. Not bad.
When in Germany. I mean, right.
Wait a minute. It's 3 o'clock in Germany right now.
Yeah, 3 p.m.
So you can play this. You can play this game at 1 o'clock, and it's still like 6 or 7 p.m.
That's what I'm trying to
Why
tell
can't
you.
do
Right,
that?
because they're not trying to put the Germany games with all the other 1 o'clock
Why
games. They
not?
want them to stand out. They want everyone to be like,
Stand out so-
watch this.
so no one
it's
on the
6
West
a.m. on the
Coast
West
can watch
Coast.
it.
Exactly.
I can safely tell you, no matter where you put that game, that's the game I'm watching that week.
Hey, guess what? By the way, just because you have 2 games in Germany a year doesn't mean that the NFL is going to be a thing in Germany. So let's just give up on that right now. You want to go to Germany, NFL, whoever it is that decided this, go on vacation to Germany. Why do you have to take the whole NFL
Oktoberfest,
with you to
that's
go to
right.
Germany? Just pay for a trip to Germany.
Chris is outraged
Goodell makes
right
like
now.
$50 million a year. He can't just
Private
go.
jet.
He can't just go pay to go to Germany if
It
he wants to
just-
go to Germany.
It just makes sense to
Imagine.
me. How
You
they're
Might not
doing
even
it.
go to that game.
How
You
they're
might just
doing
send
it
them.
makes perfect sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
they get to
like
play-
doing a show in LA because you want to go to LA.
They get to they get to play at a normal time.
Sedano
in
sit
Germany.
down, though. I mean, it was
That's
great.
huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
They got Fluffy too.
Who's Fluffy?
What are you talking
comedian.
about?
What?
We're talking about in LA.
Fluffy?
That's just an example. That wasn't specific to anything.
Right. But they got a comedian named Fluffy?
Yeah, Dan did a South Beach session with. You don't know Fluffy?
No.
He's a big popular comedian.
Chris doesn't know his name either, which is why he hasn't said it yet.
Iglesias.
Gabriel Iglesias.
Fluffy Iglesias.
Old Gabe. So you went to Oktoberfest?
Yeah, I did. And I had
Is that why you're so pro Germany this morning?
so I got there,
It's weird.
Like, hey guys, you know what? There's some nice people over there.
crushed a few brews, had a bratwurst.
Yeah, brat.
and then I had to go to the toilet and I had an experience.
What?
Oh my God.
Wait.
Classic.
It's never an outdoor festival bathroom.
Time out.
Never
You
a
went
good
to Oktoberfest. You had some beers, a brat. You went to a public bathroom, which is always a dangerous game.
Always.
and then,
Especially at an Oktoberfest.
and then
Oh my
so I'm
God.
sitting down, I'm squatting, I'm not even on the seat.
It had to be a porta potty, right?
It was not a porta potty. It was one of these like man-made like
Okay.
like a trailer.
So there was like a trailer with like 4 stalls.
Right.
The wall's way too high up.
Yes.
And I sit down at the only available one.
Right.
And there's a guy next to me. I usually try to look for one that's got some secludedness. And I got a foot. I got a sandaled foot.
What do you mean?
Breaking into my territory. I got a picture of it.
Oh, there it is.
I got a picture of
What
it.
the hell's wrong with that guy's toe?
I don't know, man.
Is that your dad?
That second toe is curved.
It's just this is just not what you want to see when you're trying to enjoy a nice
Do you pour water on that person?
nice relaxing.
a nice release.
Wait, so his foot got into your space.
I mean, look, if you look, that's past the line.
That's
Like,
a weird foot.
It is past. There should be an actual line there.
And I could see him being comfortable when I'm not there, but once I enter, you got to move that foot in.
Right.
What if he was just really battling, dude, and he had to like really get a wide stance to make sure that he was okay to release? That guy might have been having the fight of his life in that bathroom, and you know,
Yeah.
just talking about him, like, you know what?
Tony, I do like the idea of there being an actual line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Offsides.
It's like a
throw the
border,
flag
right?
over the-
Right. If your foot goes over the line, Chris, he can
like
do whatever he
Neutral
wants.
zone infraction.
Is that the center
Sandal
foot?
guy.
Is that the guard's foot or the center's foot? It's like the offside penalty.
Room official
Throw the flag on the boat. Hey,
throwing toilet paper.
sandal guy, -5 yards, coming back this way.
His second toe is quite curled.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's sideways.
Anyway,
Yeah. So what happened?
so that was my weekend.
You just went to Oktoberfest. You went to the bathroom.
I went to the bathroom and
Where was the Oktoberfest
it
you
was
went
up
to?
north. It was like in like Lake Worth.
Damn.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Lake
Christ.
Worth. Ugh.
It was like 50
You take a
minutes.
plane
north.
there?
It was
Yeah.
like 50 minutes north of me.
There's north of you?
Yeah.
Right.
It
Orlando.
was actually right
Right
near
by my house.
It was a little
my backyard.
a little east of Stugotz.
Wait. So did you say anything to the guy?
No.
What are you going to say?
I just took a picture of
What do
his
you mean,
foot and
what
put
are
it
you
on.
gonna Get your foot out of my house. I mean,
No, I just took a picture of it and put it on a popular podcast. That's
right.
it.
Did you hover?
Did I just break a law right there?
yeah,
you're
probably.
I didn't get his permission.
Hover
No.
technique?
Yeah, I was hovering.
Yeah.
And I had to pay, and I put, because it was gross. Like I put like
Of course it
toilet
was.
paper
It was
down.
Oktoberfest.
Because
Outdoor bathroom.
I famously am someone, it's got to be really dirty. Like I'm not someone who like is like like I don't think my ass needs like, everyone thinks they need to clean these toilets. Like I'm just like, hey, if it looks fine, I'll sit. And this
You're
one,
a bare ass kind of guy?
yeah, normally. But this one was so bad and gross that I hovered. I put toilet paper down. Like I'm one that generally, if I look at it and it looks fine,
You'll just sit
I'll
right
just
down.
sit.
Right.
But this one was like, I need toilet paper and I'm hovering.
Which means it was so terrible
Yes.
that
Right.
none of us would actually have gone to the bathroom in that
I'm
bathroom.
telling you, if you felt like I did, you would have. It was not one of these ones where I'm like, I could hold it.
What
I
was
like,
what
I'm going
was
to the
it?
bathroom.
Why did you have to go to the bathroom?
I think it was the brats.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, it went from one brat to brats.
I might have finished my daughter's. The dad tax.
Put that on the poll. What's at the brats? Just that. Just what's at the brats?
When you guys, can I ask you guys a question? When you guys have beer, you just need to go to the bathroom right away because I do. Whenever. I'll have like a beer. I'll start drinking a beer. I need to pee like nobody's.
You gotta keep the seal. You gotta keep the
Sometimes
seal closed.
Sometimes number 2 also.
No, you have to keep the seal.
Sometimes I'm
Tony's
like,
right.
ooh, I gotta get going.
No, but the seal closed is important. You keep it closed as long as possible.
Exactly.
For me, it's usually like 3 or 4 beers.
Attaboy.
No
Right.
chance.
100%
Yeah.
Stugotz.
My
Yes.
insides will explode.
No, you got to hold on as tight as you can. 3 to 4 beers is that.
No way.
And then you go to the bathroom, and then at that point, once you open the seal, it's a floodgate.
No.
A callback to Mystery Crate. The funniest part of being at Oktoberfest, a lady and a husband came up to me and they were like, "Hey, Kyle."
Wow.
Yeah, that was a callback for
Synergy.
people. Like you can check Mystery Crate. I told a story about calling my wife Kyle.
No, you called
No,
your
you
wife.
called.
I mean,
I literally
let's not-
called her and
let's not
called her.
spoil
wife.
it. Yeah,
Called
like-
Yeah,
her.
but I didn't listen to Mystery Crate.
And
So.
just-
What? Why not?
I'm sorry. I was busy.
I know you're always locked in.
We were talking-
Stu.
we were
Billy, you said we put out too much content.
Yeah,
a
but you're
week
on
ago.
you're on a plane. You could have listened on the plane.
We were
Perfect
talking,
time.
we were
Sorry.
talking pet
Watching
names.
the
Do you and your
Dolphins.
wife have a pet name? Like, what do you call your wife? Like when you guys are like, "Hey, honey." Like,
Abby. Yeah. Hun.
Hun.
Okay.
Okay, nice.
Hun. H-O-N. Hun. I shortened
An old
it, of
school-
course.
that's an old school pet name.
Right. Yeah. You have a pet name, Billy?
No.
No?
As soon as beer touches my lips, I need to, it's just like I don't even know where all the
Like
liquid
you should
comes
just
from.
drink at a urinal, basically.
Yeah, as soon as it's just like that Niagara Falls. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then if I go to a stall, forget about it. I'm never leaving.
Is that so?
Yeah.
You just sit there all day?
It's the truth.
You're weird.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is brought to you by KFC's new hot and spicy wings. Get fired up this fantasy season with 8 pieces of spicy marinated hand-breaded wings for just $4.99. Are you kidding me? They're a can't-miss call for whatever the fantasy gods throw your way. In the midst of a managerial hot streak, keep it rolling with KFC's new hot and spicy wings. Did you just assemble the worst lineup in fantasy history? Who cares? You can get 8 KFC new hot and spicy wings for $4.99 right now. Marinated in spice, hand-breaded to perfection. KFC's new hot and spicy wings are here. 8 pieces for just $4.99. It's finger-licking good.
Panera's You Pick 2 lets you draft your perfect meal, like a smoky buffalo chicken toasted baguette and creamy mac and cheese. Think you're an expert at picking the perfect pair? Play Panera's You Pick 2 football challenge from DraftKings, and that skill could make you richer, because there's $45,000 in total prizes up for grabs. Predict which iconic football duo you think will perform best in 9 weekly contests, October through December, free to play on DraftKings. Learn more at DraftKings.com/Panera. Eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited.
Dan Le Batard.
Fans cheer that type of stuff. Tom Brady went down with an Achilles the only time he got hurt in his entire career, and I was fist pumping in my living room at home because the Jets finally had a chance to win a division. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for that.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for that. Is one of the most amazing sentences you've ever uttered.
Stugotz.
From the maker of Trust Me, Don't Trust Me comes, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to apologize. You are amazing.
Thank you. I know.
You are a flabbergasting delight. You happen upon genius comedy by accident.
That's my gift.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you cursed. That was.
I didn't.
You're excited.
I didn't know we were on the. I am excited. Yes.
Mondays are
Right.
Mondays are long ones.
Yeah, the Jets had a big week by not playing.
Huge week.
I've been pacing myself
Right.
with my coffee, and I don't know that it's a very good strategy.
What do you mean by pacing yourself?
Well, so I made coffee before I left the house this morning, and I knew that today was going to kind of like take a while, and I knew that we were down a bunch of people,
Right.
and we had God Bless Football early on, and then I'm going to be sitting here with you, and we have like, another 4 hours that we're going to do.
Right.
So I said,
It's incredible.
Everyone
just bailed on us.
Let me pace myself with my coffee because I know I'm going to need it later. Now, I could just go and make new coffee, theoretically, right?
Right.
But I didn't want to have too much coffee, so I was like, I'm going to pace myself with my coffee. And now I have it in one of those cups that supposedly keeps it warm. But now I'm thinking, by the time I need it, it's going to be cold.
No doubt, yeah.
Wait, but if I put ice in it, then I could just make it
a cold brew.
A cold brew. So maybe this does work out.
I'm glad we're talking this out.
Yeah, just talking it out.
Right. Couple of guys talking it out.
Yeah, well, I don't know how you guys are planning on getting through this, David. This is going to be a long one for all of us. Long one.
It already has been.
Even longer for the listener.
I'm just a raw dog kind of guy, though.
What? What does that mean?
Same.
What does that mean?
No
I have
coffee.
no idea.
No coffee.
Really?
Yeah, I just
so I
let it
never
ride.
have coffee in the morning. I'm weird with coffee. I only drink double espresso. Like for me, I've always said, I just want to get straight to it. I do shots of tequila. I don't want to have 9 drinks when I could just have 2 shots of tequila and I'm hammered, you know? And so I like to get straight to the sex is what I'm trying to say. And so a double espresso just, boom, puts me right there. Then I follow it up with another one a couple hours later.
Do you guys get resentment from your family for not drinking coffee in the morning?
All the time.
Like everyone in my family, both my parents, both my in-laws, my wife, my sister-in-law, like whenever we travel, they are just like, we wake up, I got to get coffee. And I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I see resentment.
You're a tea guy, though. I see you with the
do like a
passion
tea,
for tea.
Yeah, I do
that.
I like something in the morning, but.
So I bought myself a Keurig machine on sale recently, right? And I am now, that's why I'm making this coffee in the morning.
Right.
And before I had an espresso machine, I still have an espresso machine, and I would just make myself little La Llaves, and I would do like a little shot of it, right? Like a little Cuban coffee shot. But I felt like I was just kind of chugging it and not really enjoying it. So I thought, you know what? I'd like to enjoy a cup of coffee. So I got myself the Keurig machine, right? And now I feel like I'm making myself this like donut shop coffee every morning just to justify this purchase. Because as
The one
soon
that
as
was
I
on
bought
BJ's on sale, I've seen that one.
Yeah, it was
The
100.
donut shop.
It was a 100
count.
100
Billy bought it on
pods,
sale.
$6 off.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's like $25
yes,
for like
he did.
1,000 pods.
Dude, I got 100 of them for like $34. It's like
Right.
30 cents a coffee.
I know
You
exactly
can't
which one you're
beat that.
talking about.
I'm hearing it's trash in my ear.
Well, that's Lewis. Lewis doesn't know anything. That's why he doesn't talk. I almost bought the other day the pumpkin spice one that they sell for
so
Keurig.
only if you talk, you know something? Is that what you're making?
You want Lewis to talk? You want to
No,
give Lewis an open mic?
fair point by you. I'm sorry.
So I almost bought the pumpkin spice one, and I almost bought pumpkin spice creamer to give to my wife.
Wait, the huge one?
Yeah. Well, it was like 30 something, but I was like, I don't know if I can commit to this because my wife does
That's a
not.
lot.
She doesn't like the Keurig.
I'm getting a
like
private
it.
show in my ear from Lewis. I got to be honest with you.
She doesn't like the Keurig machine, and I feel judged for using the Keurig.
Right.
So what I'm trying to do is do the Keurig in the morning and then the little La Llave, like Cuban coffee shot, when I need it in the afternoon to keep it going. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's not. I don't even know how we ended up here. I'm just trying to
You
get
brought it up. I mean,
You know what I've actually been doing? So like last night, I've found when I go to like
we got here.
Sunday nights, a lot of water. I start drinking a lot
Billy,
of
I've
water.
been
It'll
telling you
keep
that
me
for
up.
years. Just drink water, dude.
No, but it keeps me up. Instead of the coffee, because the coffee won't let me sleep, I just drink water and I'm fine. Also, I try to do a lot of prep. I try to do extra prep because I get like concerned about how the Monday morning God Bless Football show is going to go.
Right.
So like I try to take notes on all the games. I come in here and I have printouts of all these things, highlights, color-coded things, all this
Oh,
stuff.
Billy's
right?
game notes.
Wow,
Yeah,
I like
no.
that.
So I do. I every week I go and I print out a bunch of stuff, and it's really just called being a professional, which is not something that we normally do here. No, it's not notes like observations. It's literally just like.
give us some examples. If you don't
well,
mind.
this one's actually a note. Ready?
Okay, right.
Puka Nakua is back. A reception's 154 yards.
Right.
Big
He's
game.
good.
But he went away for a while, or
Yeah, when Cooper
Okay.
Kupp came back, we were
All right.
wondering, is this the end of Puka Nakua? But
Okay.
it wasn't. It
He's
was
back.
last week, but
Right.
he's back.
Okay, good.
No, but then my other notes are just like.
just give us a few. That's all. Doesn't matter.
Nathan Peterman, 0 for 0, fumble recovered, still in the NFL.
What team?
He is on the Bears, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyson Bagent.
Yeah. Isn't it Bagent?
Whatever.
Special Bagent.
Then my notes are just things like P.J. Walker, 178 yards, 1 interception. It's
How'd the
literally
Browns win
just-
that
Write
game?
you write the stats down.
It's
Yes.
literally just like stats and fun notes. Like, so what I'll do is I'll watch like Red Zone, right? But then when I'm watching Red Zone, I'm watching it passively. I'm watching it as a fan, just enjoying it. So then I'll go through every game. I'll go through all the stats. I'll take notes. I'll read the recaps on some of them. And then I'll watch NFL's like game day recap which I found out Chris Rose hosts a lot of the time, which I was like, hey, Chris Rose, that's where he is.
Is that the thing where you can watch an entire game in like 5 minutes?
No, I would do that.
It's like a Sports Center kind of thing.
It's basically like Sports Center, but it's just football, and then I know I can go through every single game and just kind of see what it is that I missed on the red zone.
Did you get the TV setup, or has your wife kind of nixed the
yesterday
projector?
was the second time that I used the projector in my house, and I did it
and
just
it's a sports bar.
And I actually bought so the first time we did it, I have a window that's poorly placed, and it's like it brings in a lot of light, so it's not great for a projector.
Right.
So I used like a gray sheeting company redacted sheet over the window to block out the light. And then instead of doing that this time,
Good redacted sheet company.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Instead of doing that because my wife didn't like that, what I ended up doing was I bought a temporary blackout shade from Amazon. But I didn't need it because by the time I got home yesterday to do the 2 TV setup, it was already dark, so I was good.
Right.
But next week I'm whipping out the blackout shade for that one
yeah.
to see how it goes.
It has to be exhausting being you. I mean,
Why so?
You're just thinking so much. I mean, it's like always looking for bargains, you know?
Well, no, I'm looking for practicality. I'm trying to make look, I need to watch yesterday I needed to watch Sunday Night Football. But I also needed to take my notes. And the World Series was on. So I could only do 2 things at once.
Well, not the World Series.
Or the ALCS. I'm
Right.
sorry. Yeah, the ALCS. By the way, Game 7 tonight. How do you feel about that?
Best 2 words in sports. Yeah.
Put the kids to bed.
Does anyone
Put your kids
I don't
to
think
bed.
you have to put the.
Well, no, the
you don't
game
put
starts
kids-
at 8:30,
it
guys.
doesn't
So
matter.
it's just a
They'll
normal time to put your
They
kids.
should
What
be
time in
sleeping
Germany?
anyway. But you don't have to put your kids to bed for a baseball game. I don't feel like there's ever been a baseball game in the history of baseball in which you have to put the kids to bed. That's usually a physical
My
game.
daughter just
right?
goes to bed at 8:15.
No, I have to put my daughter to bed, and I made sure to get everything going early enough where if there was any complications, I would still be good to go.
Got it.
Great
All right.
night. I need to put my daughter to bed just to make sure that I can do the things that I need to do. Because if she's up, I can't get
Do you
anything.
and your wife split that duty? Is it like have take turn type thing?
We are in a situation. Well, we have 2 now, so we each have to put one to
Still
sleep.
playing man though.
Yeah, well, my
Such an annoying thing that people say with kids. It's like, oh, you're still playing man defense. If you have
zone.
3, now you're on zone. It's just the worst.
my eldest daughter likes when I put her to sleep, so I have been doing that lately.
She's just straight out like kids have no shame. They're just like, mommy, I want daddy to do it.
Yeah, she did that last night. I felt really bad. I feel bad when it happens. I feel good, but I feel bad.
Selfishly, you're like, yes.
No, I do. I feel really good, but I feel bad because I know that it's not like a great.
You feel good because your child chose you. You feel bad because you don't want to deal
Those
with
things.
No. I feel bad. I feel no. I feel good because I feel like, oh my God, I'm loved. But I feel bad because I know how, like, if I were to go to put her to sleep and she's like, no, mommy, I would be like, ooh, ow.
Those things
that
come in
hurts.
swings, though.
Jeez, okay.
Like,
Yeah.
6 months later, she'll want everything mommy to do.
Oh, my daughter's gonna hate me at some point.
Yeah,
I know this.
for sure.
Both of them will.
Oh, yes, she will.
Yeah, both my daughters will hate me.
There was something.
Oh, yes, they will.
Yeah.
There was something going on over Twitter during this Dolphins game last night
What
after
happened?
a couple plays
Yeah.
where ball don't lie Twitter was
I
having
hate
a
that.
moment.
Give me a
Does the ball lie? Because it was what happened
Sometimes,
was
actually.
is the play we were talking about earlier where there was a clear face mask penalty against the Eagles not called.
Right.
Eagles get the ball back and immediately throw a pick 6. And the big ball don't lie people came flying out of nowhere. And it's just like,
What does that mean?
it's just whenever
In that instance, what does
Whenever
that
you
mean?
get screwed, in that instance, they're saying, we were owed a penalty there. We should have had the ball back. So karma gave us a pick 6 right away because the ball doesn't lie.
The ball don't lie.
Right.
And I'm here, and Tony, I feel like agrees with me. The ball lies a lot.
The ball lies a ton.
Right.
And it's just such a, it's, I think of all the fan tropes, is that the right word that I used there?
Nailed it. Keep
I
going.
feel like
I don't
ball
know.
don't lie is just the worst and the laziest. It's worse than blame the refs,
Right.
which it's kind of, it is.
No, I
it's an
think you can
extension.
blame the refs, though, for
No,
last night. No,
it's
you
bad
can.
form.
No, Bill,
You look like a sore loser.
they had
Blame
10
the refs.
penalties. How do you go an entire game without getting a flag thrown on you?
And they did have one flagged, but
Right.
they got taken away.
Right. So you're saying the ball does lie sometimes.
Absolutely.
I'm a believer that the ball does lie and
Like-
that people like to pull that out at the most convenient of times.
Right.
It was a random interception, but the ball had nothing to do with that.
There was a bit of karma there, though, right? I mean,
It's the same trope. I'm big into. I
just
realize
wanna
I
say
said
the word
trope, right?
trope.
you
So
like
it's like
saying
learn the
you
word
learned a new
trope.
word over the weekend.
The over
huh?
under is
Yeah.
3.5 on it. How
Was
many
the guy in the
times I
about to
said
hit.
today?
Guy in the bathroom tell you trope? Like, where do we get this from?
But it just like I just hate. I don't like the fans. We like ball don't lie. Blame the refs. Like we're better than that. We're 5-2. We're still good.
You're fine.
Let's wait till we're out of the playoff picture.
You're not ready to blame the refs yet until they bounce you out of the
Right.
playoffs.
But
Then
we're
you'll
here.
crush them.
That's what, like, this game.
Brad Allen.
No, I mean, listen.
In the big picture, this game doesn't matter.
No, but it does matter because for whatever reason, as good as this Dolphin team has been, as good as the offense have been, people still like to poke holes at the Dolphins. Still like to say that they don't think Tua is very good. He's a system quarterback. He's a product of what Mike McDaniel is doing. Like, people like to criticize the Dolphins. They become a very polarizing team. And so now you give the national media, you give them some stuff today to talk about and blast the Dolphins. They can pick through the schedule. They can say you haven't beaten a good team. Go on the road. The offense doesn't look the same on the road as it does at home. Like, you have left the national media with ways to pick this team apart yet again, and they're 5-2. Like,
Yeah, but what the national media says.
Fans do.
I guess I shouldn't say
They did this recap late in the game of a couple of Tua's throws,
Yes.
and the Tua haters can't say shit about a few of those throws last night. The Cedric Wilson deep out, the touchdown to Tua where the safety's over the top.
To Tariq.
My bad.
It was a perfect
If he
pass.
threw it to himself, that would have been wild.
40 yards down the field.
Where he literally, he has no space other than the corner of that end zone.
It was
Just a
perfect.
perfect throw.
Yes.
So the Tua haters, Tua was not the issue last night.
And the one he threw to Jalen Waddle that was between Darius Slay and the safety that he put it right between both of them, just dropping.
And
the
then
bucket.
we've come to you get a lot of good with Tua, but we've come to realize you're going to get that one throw a game where he just kind of lobs it up.
That
and gets
one
an
could
interception.
there's a lot of contact there.
What'd you say?
There's a lot of contact on that.
But it
play.
was just not a
By whom?
You
By
watched-
whom? Wait, go with me there.
Eagles defenders. There's a little bit of contact.
Maybe
there.
a PI not called.
I'm saying
You're
could
blasting
make,
the refs, Billy.
I'm
Be
not.
careful.
I'm saying you could make that argument,
right?
But I'm not going to say, oh my God, the refs cost the Dolphins the game.
I think the receivers ran the wrong route. That was
they were
confusing
right
play.
next to each other too. It was a whole mess.
I think the biggest thing for the Dolphins last night was their inability to run the football. Like, it's an important.
And then they were
part of their
able to
offense.
Block. I'd say block in general. They
Maybe.
couldn't block anybody.
And
And
then
then Reddick was in the
they were-
backfield all day.
They
All
were
the
able
Eagles
to-
have done is drafted Georgia defensive linemen for the last
And they're
5
great.
years. Yes.
It's not a bad theory. It's kind of what
great.
I would probably go with of like, who are the good teams in football? Alabama, Georgia. All right, I'm going to draft all those guys. Yeah.
When they did the player mock-up things, where it's like, whoever, Georgia. It was like Georgia.
I love how fast they go through that.
They speed them up.
Sped up.
They speed them up.
It's
They used to take their time with it.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,